It's the Frosty Banks Show. Yeah. It's the Frosty Banks Show. Yeah. It's the Frosty Banks Show. It's the Frosty Banks Show.
Happy New Year, Frostbites. Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, Frosty Banks, and welcome to the Frosty Banks Show. If this is your first time, welcome, and welcome. Now, through all pain, we will experience growth. Whether you like it or not, it must happen. Anonymous. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about what was in the bill that was signed back in December 27 of the nasty 2020. And we're going to talk about what happened today at Capitol Hill. Man, can you believe that there was a shootout and riot on Capitol Hill? A lady got shot in the neck and she died. This year and the year before have been a very pinnacle year for our lives. It really has. Where 2020, we learned that we can overcome anything, no matter a virus, work on yourself, and proceed to move on to greater heights, into that new era. And the way that we start off at 2021, we see the old is trying to rule. We all get that. As you know, I was probably going to see this for the next couple of days. There was a protest, and then it turned into violence. And the person who was egging this violence on is the president that we do know, President Donald Trump. That man exercised his right to do something. And we all look at it and we say, you need to leave, you need to go. The only thing I can give that man kudos to something that we don't know, and a lot of people are not looking for it, is what kind of help and what kind of relief. This man he has done some monstrous things, and I'm not talking some good and some bad. I'm gonna put that out there. There's some good and some bad. One thing I did like, what he signed in his bill that did pass, is there was an extension on how your job can actually pay up to $5,250 of your student loans. There is a stipulation about that. The stipulation is that your job can actually claim that on their taxes. You cannot. A lot of people don't know, when you paying off your student loans, you can write that off to receive more money back. I didn't know that, and I'm doing that now. So more begin enlightening. Now, the part of that has been, it was supposed to end of 2020, but he extended it, I believe, to 2025 or 2026. Now, There are some paying jobs that are out there that have their own version of tuition reimbursement, if you want to call it that way. You know, you can work for your government. You can teachers have it great because they can actually wipe all your stuff clean. Hey, I'm just reading how I see it, and I think that's pretty cool. Of course, you have to do some type of work, some type of things that you going to have to do for a period of time. But think about it. You're a teacher, you're paying on your student loans for up to what, 5 years. You can get it somewhat, most of it reduced down. And if you're a doctor, lawyer, pretty much all the high rankers. And, you know, they always want us to go for the bar, go for the head. But those are some things. And so you can ask your job, what do you need to do to get your student loans under their care? I feel like that can help out. $5,000? Oh, yes, please. Please take it away. Take it away. Take it away. But you know what? We handle our responsibilities, you know? And that's the best thing about elevation and growth is you're taking care of your responsibilities no matter what. Another thing that was passed, and it does go into effect, and to me, this is very outrageous, more than people do know, is that only 23 out of 50 states will be having minimum wage be risen to $15 an hour. But that $15 an hour does not start off automatically. In states, you're going to see a slight increase by the year, right? These are the 23 states. You have Alaska, Arizona. Okay. Alaska is 1034. Alaska is $12.15. Arkansas is $11. California is $14. Colorado is $12.32. Delaware is $10.27. Florida is $8.65. Illinois is $11. Maine is $12.15. Maryland is $11.75. Massachusetts is $13.50. Michigan $9.87. Minnesota $10.08. That is horrible. Who the hell gives somebody 8 cents? Never mind. I've seen a lot worse. I remember I worked at one job. A person only got 12 cents. And so we got Montana at $8.75. Missouri at $10.30. Nevada at $9.75. New Jersey is $12. New Mexico $10.50. New York $12.50. Ohio $8.80. South Dakota $9.45. Vermont $11.75. And Washington State is at $13.69. 23 states out of 50. Now, I was reading an article at CNN today, and they was talking about how that bill to push minimum wage to $15 an hour, how will it work for the small business owner? That's a lot of reconstructing. And I know right now, everybody has been encouraged to build their own type of business. And, you know, have a product that's out there for you to say, hey, give it out to the masses, hoping they will like it, because there's something in for everybody making a business. I don't care what anybody say. You can have all the t-shirts made in the world. And when the t-shirts are being made, hey, you may have a different quality t-shirts, but it's going to be a little bit more cost effective, or you can have this t-shirt over here. It's going to cost this much for an average person to get. Hey, we see it now today. Pick and choose. You know, people need shirts out here. And now when it goes towards the small business owner, will they able to keep up with the changes for that? That is a big issue. That is a big issue. To me, that whole problem itself, it reminds me when I was listening to The Breakfast Club, when Biden was talking about the tax is going to be raised if you're making over 400,000, right? And Envy was like, whoa, because he was thinking about his kids, because he's finally over that threshold as a business owner, a minority business owner, that finally started getting those tax breaks as the others who are already past that threshold were starting to get. So now they're starting to be taxed even higher. And for some people who's being for that tax, man, you breaking the bank. So now it's feeling like you're breaking even. Now, with the small business owner, and you have like 7 employees, and they're all going to be starting off for $15 an hour, man, your labor is going to be high. So now with your labor being high, your product has to go up. But what if the consumer cannot buy your product at that price? And then what you going to do next? You're going to let somebody go. If y'all can recall, the last time that was a situation was at McDonald's. When it was trying to push $15 an hour, what did McDonald's do? They brought in machines. And so instead of having a customer, a person register at the register, you have screens now, and you're going to press the button. What do you want? How many tomatoes? How many patties? Do you want that $1,000 dressing on it? But those are corporations, and they can afford to do that. I'm sure that the machine costs more than a body. But now we are to a point where this is a cause and effect. I pray and I hope that this issue for each and every small business owner who is going to be going through with this, starting off in a new year and more, how to handle it. Because people don't know. We see one thing, but we don't see the other. Like, for example, right now, everything is for the whole house situation. Right now, nobody can get evicted through the pandemic because we understand the loss of jobs. And truly, I feel like the American government should have did the same thing what overseas did. They shut everything down, especially the Italians. Italy said, hey, don't worry about no bills, no nothing. When we get this thing straight, then let's go. But until then, stay at home, rest. If you go out, wear a mask. And please be safe. Okay? But we live in a capitalist society where greed is king. Greed is law. it came to the point where it was like, oh man, this one guy, he said on the internet, oh, you a hustler? If you didn't make it during the pandemic, you're not a hustler. You better do something else. And it's like, wow, that's crazy. But he's right. So now we're in this grind mode and we see people making money, people making moves. And then I congratulate everybody who's making moves. But it's going to be different now. Because now you have things set in place. So they say that there are jobs we don't know the job ratio anymore. Some people have their job, some people don't. But when you go to court, will the courts side with the renter or with your landlord or the tenant? The law that was also passed before then is going with the tenant. I personally know somebody with multiple homes. We was having a discussion about how he can't evict anybody, but yet the banks and everybody that he has to pay for each of his property, they're hounding him as, hey, where's my money? I need my money on time. As way to Friday, big worm. So who's going to help out the tenants? The government is helping out the tenants. Yes. Congratulations. We're doing it. But who else is going to help out for the people itself? I feel that if they have to pay back the money back, so should the renter. If my landlord say, hey, we understand what's going on, you need to pay the money back no matter what. Because that right there is only fair and only right. Who has their backs? Because you got to think about it. That's a trickle down effect too as well. If I am a homeowner and I'm renting out and my tenant cannot pay my rent and I have to fork over more money to give to the banks and be like, okay, then all that time trying to be saved, I can lose that home. And then that family is going to lose their house. I placed it to hold their head. Nobody really thinks about that. Now, again, minimum wage coming to $15 an hour. What if it's a small business cannot afford to give their employees $15 an hour? Two things going to happen, people. Two things. They may survive or they may go out of business. Something's gonna happen. They're gonna cut back. And then we're gonna be looking at, oh man, what really happened? And be like, yeah, this what happened. We saw it happen. But I'm proud that minimum wage is going up. To me, it sickens me on my birthday still. That minimum wage, the last minimum wage in Georgia is still at $7.25, July 24th, 2009. Man, people still out here making minimum wage. What can I say? Grind harder. Put yourself in a better position for you can get a better pay to do a lot of things. Use it to your advantage. That's the only thing I can't say. Just use it to your advantage. Now, Today is a sad day. And to me is wow. Today is real sad. It says DC police says 4 people died as Trump supporters occupy the US Capitol. 1 woman shot by police, 3 in medical emergencies. This is another sad day where we can come together as one unit to move forward. But we see the bigotry and different unions being spread apart. I know that we're not trying to be oblivious to everything what's going on around us. But one thing we have to understand, enough is enough. You know? When will Capitol Hill do something for us? But at the same token, you have to move on your own. When you're doing your research to get everything that you want, that is great. You are utilizing the tools that you have of the internet, your cell phone, word of mouth, people that you do know, and you're able to obtain some of the things that you're going to have. Right? But it really doesn't matter who is the face of the country. But it does matter who is a senator, and who's a congressman. Those are the people who write the laws. And they stay in those positions for years upon years. Like the presidency, 1 term equals 4 years. And then they pray they can get another term. And if they do it right, they can get 8 years out of it. But somebody who's being a representative, either the House or the Senate, they can be in there 30 plus years. Now that needs to change. The same way they brought the system to us about the electoral colleges, where my vote for the presidency is called the popular vote, but the person who I picked to represent me has nothing to do with it. But we have to start putting people who represent accountable and hold them to a certain standard. But today, we saw that factor. How Trump was using the congressman to overturn it just baffles me sometimes. We have never seen a president do that before. You know, he has every right to try to get it blocked. But the number doesn't lie. To me, this election was very funny. There were so many obstacles that was put it away. And he still lost. I just pray that there will be peace. Because this is something that we need. We need that sense of urgency of peace, because I had a conversation with some group of men, and the overall message was about making sure that, hey, make sure you go home. Be careful. Do what you got to do. Hurry up and go home. It seems like now people are living in fear even more, let alone being a black man. I am proud of to be. But now when I see people saying, oh, because this person's not president, you want to shoot me. Why are you making this a race issue now? Where we're already dealing with a virus, where some people doesn't think that is real or not. And come to find out, the virus just changed on us. So the vaccine that they want us to take is not going to help. That virus already adapted to its environment. One of the first cases is here in Georgia. The one case overseas is in the UK. That's crazy, people. Frostbites, it's crazy. Please continue to wash your hands, wear your mask, touch when you go to the grocery store, touch what you need to touch. 6 feet, 8 feet, and do what you got to do. And that's the only thing. To me, we have a long way to go. But if you're doing what you're supposed to do, you will be fine. That's the bottom line. And just worry about yourself. Frostbites, I worry about y'all. I'm trying to make sure I'm giving y'all some nice, good fruits of your labor, just to make sure I keep coming back for more. And I thank you for everybody who's been rocking with me thus so far. In 6 more months will be our 1st year anniversary. I'm super excited about it. Super excited. This year is going to be a good year. How you make your move? How do you make your mark? That is a question. I haven't got a chance to touch on this, but I want to touch on it. And it's called legacy. What legacy that you want to leave on this earth? I know what kind of legacy I want to leave on this earth. And I feel that I'm making the right steps of the legacy that I want to leave. For right now, I don't have any kids. So I'm grinding for my future kids. True enough, it's going to be a different world by the time when they get here. But that foundation that I'm laying on is going to be strong. And then with the businesses that I'm creating, I pray that they multiply. And once they do, you'll be like, wow. And then give it to my offspring. And once they give it to their offspring, my grandkids, then that's called generational wealth. But it all starts with me. I'm laying down that foundation to create that generational wealth. It's never too late. Understand this. It is never too late to start. Everybody wants to shout out Warren Buffett. Yeah, he lucked up. I'm just saying, he even said in an interview, he lucked up and 50 years old or 54, early 50s, he struck. So now everybody's on his tooth and nail on how to do the stock market. Did you know that Oprah Winfrey, Jeff Bezos, and Steve Jobs, they finally got their break in their 30s? I understand we see now of this generation more people making it in their 20s. I'm very proud of that. I'm very, very proud of that. But like other people like myself, we're in our 30s, 40s, 50s. We still got a lot of life in the tank. Get out there, grind. Grind smartly. Read. Do your research. Like currently I'm reading Gary V's Crushing It. The book reminds me of The Tipping Point. Just overall knowing how to seize the opportunity at hand. Trust me. It's going to be worth it. And when I tell you it's going to be worth it, it's going to be worth it. Another ways you can build a legacy is having the right conversations with your family, talking about financial stability, education, learn how to use a weapon, learn how to do your taxes, learn how to write a check if you need to. Just doing things that must be done in getting your children established. One of my goals is for my kids, my future children, I'm going to put them on my credit. So when they're getting ready to go to high school, they have some A1 credit. Because I don't want them to go to do what I went through. My parents taught me that cash is king, because once upon a time, cash was king. But when we in this era, this long extended era about your credit number is key. You have to know these things. And I will be talking later on. I have an episode talking about credit, becoming a homeowner. I'm going to have more people on the channel. We're going to have these discussions, and I feel like it's much needed. And don't be afraid to do it. Like Jay-Z said, if you ain't got your own, you're not free. I was listening to Cisco on Kevin on Stage. He was talking about how their dragon that was on their first logo, nobody owned it. He took his advance and patented and to own that dragon. I said, man, that's what I'm talking about. Your mindset. And the fact that he knew to do that, that's a legacy right there. And because the fact that he did that, that dragon will always forever going to be known for Drew Hill, because he did that. I thought that was pretty cool and very fascinating. All right, Frostbites. I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your day, your night, or whenever the hell you are receiving this message. This year, I challenge everybody to follow their dreams. No New Year's resolution. Just follow your dream and pursue it and run. I promise you, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Knowing that the fact that you are doing something that you love to do, no matter what. Peace out, Frostbites. Love you always.